Crossfire, also known as William Cross, has been affiliated with the Central Intelligence Agency, Cross Technological Enterprises, Masters of Evil, and the Villains for Hire. His notable aliases include Agent Cross and Prisoner V22503. His abilities include a proficient unarmed combatant, robotics, cybernetics expert, master brainwasher, expert marksman, gifted intellect, cybernetic enhancements, use of twin handguns, and a sniper rifle.
William Cross was born in Madison, Wisconsin. He later became an interrogation expert for the CIA. Cross was already building his own rogue covert operations when he romanced federal corrections officer Rosalind Backus, with whom he developed ultrasonic brainwashing technology.
Backus was unaware of Cross' illicit activities, and they were engaged to be married until Cross stole the technology and disappeared. In his disappearance, he faked his own death and framed Bacchus for his own murder. Surviving an attempt on his life which cost him his left eye and his left ear, he replaced them with cybernetic implants and became a prosperous high-tech freelance subversive known as Crossfire.
Plotting to make the growing superhero community exterminate each other via ultrasonic mind control, Crossfire abducted the Thing to test his technology. Moon Knight interfered and Crossfire was defeated. Crossfire secretly built his operations at Cross Technological Enterprises, CTE, which was founded by his cousin, Darren Cross.
When Hawkeye and Mockingbird investigated, Crossfire first tried to eliminate the two using the assassins Bombshell, Oddball, and Silencer. When his 3 assassins failed, Crossfire decided Hawkeye would make an ideal test subject for his superhero mind control plot, because Hawkeye was prominent enough in the superhero community to attract en masse at a funeral, and weak enough to be an easy target. However, Hawkeye thwarted Crossfire's brainwashing, captured the criminals and rescued Mockingbird, and married shortly thereafter.
The vengeful Crossfire subsequently stalked the newlyweds to former film star Maura Brandon's estate. The elderly actress was declared an honorary Avenger after helping Hawkeye and Mockingbird recapture the supercriminal. A juggling supercriminal team freed Crossfire from police custody.
But when he proved unable to pay the group, Crossfire is held for ransom until Captain America, Hawkeye, and Mockingbird captured the whole gang. Crossfire later escaped and placed a bounty on Hawkeye's arm, hoping to destroy the hero's skills and break the Archer's spirit. An army of supercriminals, including Brothers Grimm, Mad Dog, Bobcat, Razorfist, Bullet Biker, and the Death Throes, look to claim the reward, but are defeated by Hawkeye, Mockingbird, and Trickshot.
With the bounty-hunting supercriminals captured, Hawkeye pursues Crossfire through the sewers. Crossfire is knocked off an outfall dam's edge and is left clinging on for his life. Hawkeye contemplates letting the foe fall to his doom and ending the feud between them once and for all.
The Archer ultimately saves Crossfire's life, letting him rot in prison instead. Crossfire was among the army of technology-based supercriminals recruited by Lucia von Bardas to attack Nick Fury and a group of superheroes who were involved in a secret war in Latveria a year earlier. The hired supercriminals were revealed to each be a component of a bomb designed to destroy the city.
Fury and the heroes were able to foil the plot and arrested the supercriminals involved, including Crossfire. At some point during one of his prison stays, he allied with Vector of the UFOs, whose secret power nullification technology he had hoped to exploit. Recaptured following an encounter with S.H.I.E.L.D., he was imprisoned in the Vault, where the long-since exonerated Rosalind Backus was a member of the Vault's guardsman force.
Seemingly aiding and then foiling an escape plot by the UFOs and Crossfire, Bacchus turned the criminals against each other, faked her own death, and stole a fortune in cash and goods from the criminals, including Vector's power nullification chamber, which Bacchus later claimed to have secretly destroyed due to feeling it was too dangerous to preserve. The criminals were later transferred to the new RAF super prison, and all escape during Electro's mass breakout, with Crossfire leading a gang of his fellow mind manipulators, Controller, Corruptor, Mandrill, and Mr. Fear. Pursuing Bacchus, the Chamber and their grudges against each other, the UFOs and Crossfire's gang fought a superpowered gang war in New York until Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man broke it up.
Crossfire and his gang were recaptured, except Corruptor, and Bacchus surrendered herself to the authorities. Along with the death throes, Crossfire was hired by Raid to take part in a terror plot in London, only to be foiled by Union Jack, Contessa Fontaine, Sabra, and the Arabian Night. Crossfire was knocked from the top of a tower bridge and fell to the River Thames below.
He was believed to have perished when he didn't resurface. Crossfire is revealed to have survived the fall and is among the supercriminals gathered by the Hood looking to take advantage of the superhero community's split caused by the Superhuman Registration Act. Crossfire becomes a member of the Hood's crime syndicate who go on to battle the new Avengers.
He is seen battling his old enemy Clint Barton as Ronin. Crossfire appears as part of the Hood's crime syndicate, who come together with the superheroes to battle the Skrull invasion force in New York City. After the Skrull invasion was thwarted, the Hood's criminal army, including Crossfire, fights against the new Avengers, laying in wait for Norman Osborn's personal Avengers.
Once again, Crossfire is seen battling Ronin and Mockingbird. Crossfire is later seen conferring with the Hood to discuss the zombie virus. Whereas the Hood wishes to use the virus to gain more power and influence in the world, Crossfire protests, explaining that one of the reasons he was compelled to ally himself with the Hood was that world-conquering schemes would be avoided.
Crossfire is quickly put in his place with a single stern gaze from the supercriminal Kingpin. Led by the Wrecking Crew and Dr. Jonas Harrow, Crossfire and the rest of the Hood's crime syndicate rebel against their leader and seek out to make their own deal with Osborn. They attack and defeat the new Avengers and subdue the Dark Avengers.
Crossfire was part of the Hood's criminal army that took part in the Siege of Asgard, an event orchestrated by Osborn. After the battle was over and the heroes had won, Crossfire managed to evade capture and branched out on his own once more. Hawkeye and Mockingbird thwart Crossfire's illegal arms dealings, much to the supercriminal's anger.
He is later confronted by Jamie Slade, suggesting that they form an alliance. Together, along with Crossfire's new robotic army of death throes, techno-hybrid remotely operated weapons systems, the criminal pair plot to destroy the lives of the two heroes. Crossfire and the new Phantom Rider were ultimately foiled, but not before Crossfire almost succeeds in killing Hawkeye and Mockingbird, severely wounds Mockingbird's mother, and murders Hamilton Slade.
As a result, Crossfire is captured and viciously beaten by Hawkeye. Despite being imprisoned with numerous injuries, Crossfire takes away a small victory in knowing that he has pushed Hawkeye to a breaking point. Hawkeye later discovered that Helmut Zemo was the mysterious benefactor behind Crossfire's illegal arms dealings.
The Thunderbolts' current leader, Luke Cage, will never give Crossfire the opportunity to be a part of the team, telling this to Hawkeye. Steve Rogers had already recommended that Crossfire should not be considered for the Thunderbolts program due to his technological prowess that could see the supercriminal override the nanite system used to control the inmates. Crossfire was hired as part of Misty Knight's Villains for Hire team in a battle against the Purple Man.
Crossfire was later recruited by Max Fury to join the Shadow Council's incarnation of the Masters of Evil. He is later seen in Vigalia being paid off by Nick Fury Jr. to let Taskmaster out of imprisonment at the time when the Secret Avengers raid Vigalia to recruit Taskmaster. Crossfire was hired by his second cousin Augustine Cross to capture Cassie Lang for Cross Technological Enterprises due to Augustine's belief that Cassie's PIM particle irradiated heart could sustain Darren's body.
Crossfire later accompanied Yellow Jacket and Egghead into attacking Ant-Man and Stinger. Soon after, Crossfire rejoined Hood's gang and assisted in the attack on Castle Doom. Crossfire has no superhuman powers, but is a highly trained former CIA operative.
He is an expert marksman with proficient unarmed combat skills and extensive espionage training. Crossfire is a master of brainwashing techniques and has been known to develop his own technology to further these skills. With his gifted intellect, Crossfire is an expert in the field of robotics and cybernetics. He also has specialized knowledge of applied ultrasonics.
Crossfire created the Undertaker machine, a brainwashing device which employs ultrasonic waves to stimulate rage in the emotion centers of his victims' brains. An explosion caused Crossfire to lose his left eye and left ear, an 85% loss of hearing in his right ear. His left eye was replaced with an infrared imaging device, which affords him a semblance of sight even in total darkness, while his left ear was replaced by an audio sensor that is far more sensitive than the human ear.
The loss of natural hearing in his right ear has resulted in Crossfire being unaffected by his own ultrasonic technology. His costume is made of Kevlar and has special hidden compartments containing various weaponry and devices. Crossfire uses twin handguns and a sniper rifle as his weapons of choice. In the past, Crossfire was known to employ the supercriminal group, the Death Throes, as his foot soldiers.
However, deciding to leave behind the fifth-rate hacks in ridiculous costumes, Crossfire created a new army for himself. His Death Throes, techno-hybrid remotely operated weapons systems, are robotic constructs that obey only his commands and each carry a small, capable arsenal concealed within their armored shells. Originally, the robotic Death Throes were known as Magnum Zs.
The Magnum Zs were fully automated smart soldiers created for the United States. But the US Senate ceased their development when they realized that the Magnum Z's abilities were in conflict with the Geneva Convention. Crossfire acquired some of the defunct Magnum Z's to use in a plot to conquer the Isle of El Guapo, then later adapted them for his own purposes.